Hello, welcome aboard to AM News. In our very first story, President John Mahama has served notice that persons who are targeting and killing personnel of the Ghana Police Service and other law enforcement agencies will be hunted down and dealt with ruthlessly. Speaking at the National Police Headquarters after presenting 100 pickup vehicles to the police service to enhance operations across the country, the president expressed deep concern about recent attacks on security personnel. A police officer was shot dead by unidentified gunmen last 2 weeks in a late-night attack at Karimenga on the Bolgatanga to Tamale Highway. The attack also left 2 officers injured.
At the National Police Headquarters, President Mahama commissioned the 100 pickups to help the Ghana Police Service with their operations. He warned persons he said were targeting and killing police and other security personnel they will be dealt with ruthlessly.
That there are some elements who are targeting and killing not only police officers but other security personnel. Recently, we attended a memorial service, a memorial event to honor police officers who had lost their lives in the line of duty in the last 1 year. And several of them had been shot either by armed robbers or other criminal elements. And to serve notice that the police will deal very ruthlessly with anybody who harms or injures or kills a police officer. We will hunt them down and will neutralize them. And so this is serving notice to those elements. If you shoot at a police officer, we'll come after you. This commissioning is not just about vehicles. It's about credibility, it's about public trust, and it's about strengthening our internal security and safety.
Earlier, President Mahama toured some state media houses. He started with the state broadcaster GBC, where he revealed that personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service involved in the attack on a Class FM journalist have been identified and interdicted as investigations into the incident continue.
Oh, well, my views on that are known. I'm a journalist by training, and so there's no way we'll countenance, the continued assault on journalists. So we've been in touch with the Ghana Journalists Association on these issues. We put them in touch with the security services. We need a reorientation of many of our security personnel to understand that just as they're doing their job of providing peace and safety, journalists are also doing their job of informing the people as to what is happening. So they are not antagonistic to each other. Indeed, they are both serving the same purpose. Yeah, so we're working on it, but occasionally these things will come up. But when they come, they must be dealt with, as firmly as possible. The Minister of Government Communication has taken it up. I think the officers have been identified, they've been interdicted, and an investigation is ongoing. But we won't countenance assault on journalists.
Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Professor Amin Alhassan, said the current TV license regime is outdated. He proposed an amendment of the law to a public media levy. Responding to the proposal, President John Mahama said government is receptive to the idea and intends to amend the existing TV license law as part of efforts to secure sustainable funding for GBC.
Your Excellency, we want to request humbly that in the discussion about TV license, the name we should look at the name. It's not about TV. It's not about you watching TV. It's about raising funds to ensure public service broadcasting.
There are few suggestions we have with regards to the so-called TV license. And I think that our thinking is going in the same direction to amend that law and to make it a public media levy of some sort. And we're going to change the range of that levy so that it's better able to mobilize funding in order to be able to subsidize the work of the public media. And so when we are ready, it will be discussed in cabinet, but we'll discuss with you what our thinking is before we finally go to Parliament and amend the law.
From Accra, let me take you to the Central Region. In a bid to enhance the welfare of vulnerable groups, Vice President Professor Jane Nano Pukwuagyemang has donated food and sanitary items to the Ankafo Maximum Security Prison and the Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital in the region. The gesture underscores her commitment to social inclusion and compassionate care while supporting government's broader agenda to improve welfare conditions in correctional and mental health facilities nationwide.
Making the presentation on behalf of the Vice President, presidential staffer at the Office of the Vice President, Kar Krayali, described the gesture as a reflection of the Vice President's compassion and commitment to supporting the disadvantaged in society.
Yeah, with Madame, this has been something that's been doing over the years. This is not the first time. She has the spirit of kindness towards the disadvantaged. That's why she's been doing this over the years. Like the Director General said here, over the years she has been coming and been doing this even before she even became the Vice President. So it is something that she's known for. The two facilities, they all mention some challenges, especially where we're standing right now, that is the Ankafo Psychiatric. They mention an encroachment to their lands, which I think is a national issue that we all have to take action on it to prevent it, because the hospital definitely has to be expanded. So if individuals are encroaching on the land, I think it's a serious issue that the whole nation will have to take action on that.
Receiving the items on behalf of the Ankafo Maximum Security Prison, the Deputy Director of Prisons in the Central Region, Joseph Asabre, expressed appreciation for the donation and appealed for increased support to improve conditions within the service.
The Director General of Prisons has also come out with an initiative called Think Prisons 360 Degrees. Think Prisons 360 Degrees. It is an initiative that wish to conscientize Ghanaians that in every aspect of our life, whatever we are doing, we should always think about how we can support Ghana Prison Service to advance the agenda of the service. We are doing a whole lot to advance the program, industrialization. We want to have a lot of companies and industries to manufacture most of the things that we need, and even some other from the society. It is there. We agree mechanization, we have lands, we have image. We want people to come and support us so we can mechanize the agricultural production, so that we can also contribute to the food basket of the country.
The donation, which included bags of rice, packs of bottled water and baskets of fruits, among other food items, was also extended to the Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital, where the hospital's director, Julius Hache, welcomed the support, but used the occasion to appeal to government to rehabilitate the facility's internal road network, warning that its poor state poses serious risks, particularly to pregnant women and other vulnerable patients.
Unfortunately, the generation IGF, internally generated funds from the hospital, is not at a level that can fix or work on roads. So we want to plead with the government, we want to plead with Her Excellency that based on her interest in the issues of non-communicable diseases, based on the President's interest on ensuring that even people who suffer non-communicable diseases receive and have the necessary care that they deserve, they should come to our aid and help us to fix the internal road network of Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital. It's unfortunate, but sometimes pregnant women, whilst in labor, have to ply such rugged roads in order to be able to get to the labor ward and deliver safely.
From Ankafo, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for JoyNews.
Let's do some more stories. The Workers' Union of the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA, has called on the government to fast-track its commitment to the implementation of a new scheme of service to improve the welfare and career progression of staff. National Chairman of the union, Yakubu Hamza, says there was significant progress in salary negotiations last year, but the workers expect the government to immediately commit to the new scheme of service. There's more in the following report.
The call was made at the National Delegate Conference of the NHIA Workers' Union held under the theme Stronger Together, Empowering Workers' Rights and Welfare, the Role of the Union. The conference brought together leaders and delegates from across the country to discuss workers' rights, welfare and the role of organized labor in strengthening the NHIS for the benefit of both staff and the public. Speaking to the media, National Chairman Yakubu Hamza said the proposed scheme of service has been tabled before government, awaiting further deliberation. He described the new scheme as critical to motivating workers, ensuring fairness in promotions, and enhancing productivity within the NHIA.
We are also battling with our scheme of service with them, which they agree to work on. They have done some HR audit and all this. They have agreed to do that. But we send signal to them that we'll put pressure on them to do this. If we are not getting any clear signal of they committing themselves into it, we have different means of approaching some of those issues. So these are some of the things. Our CA is also another thing that we are working with them, and thankfully it's at the verge of completion, and I know very soon it will also be done.
Mr. Hamza noted that a well-structured career path would not only boost staff morale, but also strengthen the overall delivery of service under the NHIS.
We are the staff of the organization. So whatever we are affected, whatever affects the organization affects us. So we need to have interests, which we have actually started doing. We are collaborating with management. Whatever that is not going right, we bring them on their toe. We tell them that it's not only about negotiation of our salaries. Those things that are done within the organization that will affect staff, we go to meet with them. And this project that you are talking about, we actually approach management, and they said they have the keen interest in it. They have to collaborate with government. So I know very soon it will be a thing of the past.
Speaking at the conference, the director in charge of human resource at the National Health Insurance Authority, Angela Didinamo, reaffirmed management's commitment to workers' welfare. She said the authority is prioritizing measures to boost employee morale in the new year as part of broader efforts to improve efficiency and service delivery.
We are currently having a learning module system where orientation for new hires and training will be done online. We are currently paying all transfer grants, allowances. We are going to do a lot this year to ensure that our staff stay motivated. We have instituted a credit union for staff to make sure that their welfare is protected.
For JoyNews, Nana Boachitan Koyadom, Kumase.
Let's now head to the Ashanti region. Vehicle owners in the region are expressing frustrations over delays in the registration of new number plates. Now, some applicants say they have spent days at the regional office of the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, after traveling long distances to go through the registration process. But the DVLA says the vehicle registration process is going on uninterrupted, with over 1,400 vehicles registered in 2026. Here's a report.
Al-Hassan, a car owner, says he traveled 36 kilometers from Mankranso to get his vehicle registered at the DVLA office in Kumasi, but he has yet to be attended to since last Friday. He's worried about the lack of information on the delay, highlighting the growing impatience of applicants waiting for the new vehicle registration.
Friday, since Friday when I arrived, I've not been able to get my number plate, and I don't know what is going on. The enforcement operators have also closed their shops.
But the Ashanti Regional Office of the DVLA has explained the delay in the rollout of the new vehicle number plate registration is due to incomplete legislative processes and not technical or network challenges. According to the regional manager, Jerry Edem Aflagbo, the vehicle registration remains uninterrupted. He explained 1,489 vehicle registration requests have already been initiated for 2026. 186, with 459 completed, but some were delayed to incomplete biometric verification. Mr. Flabo says the office is fully prepared to roll out the new RFID-enabled number plate system once Parliament completes the required legislative process.
They were not able to amend the LI 2180. Now, if you watch carefully, because what we seek to do has to do with the features on the number plate, change the features and the characters and the arrangement on the number plate. It was very important that the LI 2180, which has in it Regulation 10, which specifies what features to appear on the plate, had to be amended by Parliament. But that was late. It was supposed to take 21 days to mature in Parliament for it to become law. But unfortunately, it was only 8 days when Parliament went on recess. So, in view of that, we were not able to get the legal approval for that. And so the authority has not been able to roll out, as we announced earlier, that on the 2nd of January this year, we'll start with the new registration plate. However, we have said that those who cannot wait for the new plate can register their vehicles. And so currently we are maintaining the same features as we have, which have a suffix of 2026. And that's what we are using now.
Joseph Nsego's report for JoyNews.
And still in the Ashanti region, residents in several parts of Greater Kumasi have commended the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly KMA and the Ministry of Energy for restoring street lights on key inner roads and streets on the city. Adom News journalists in Kumasi have been inspecting the ongoing regional capital rehabilitation street lighting and solar-powered wet lighting project.
Visits to locations such as the Edum to Ratri Park Main Road and Denyame indicated all previously non-functional lights have now been repaired or replaced. The initiative follows a series of reports on complaints by motorists and pedestrians on the dangers of plying the dark routes at night. Some residents recounted the insecurity they endured before the lights were fixed.
So far, no, sir. The last time, the Navi, that is so to say. Around 9.
One of my friends was walking on this stretch around 9 p.m. in the night when the lights were not fixed. Armed robbers attacked him and snatched his phone.
First, now I'm fixing it. Now, fast food team fast on you.
Walking here at night was very dangerous, but now I can walk freely because the street lights have been fixed.
Some road traders, including basket weavers and cane sofa chair producers, also praised the authorities. They say the new street lights allow them work late into the evening without fear or panic.
Let me hear about us in January because I'm on for Takitaki, I'm on for Bassa, but me more light here and I mean, Mama, but light now and I'm more. People says, I light me. Oh, I'll be doing one grown piano. I
will not allow anyone to break the bulbs that have been fixed and providing illumination for our night work.
Meanwhile, they have also called on the authorities to make sure that other parts of the regional capital still facing lighting problems are fixed as well. They express hope that the continued vigilance will ensure the safety and the illumination of their neighborhoods. Francis Menses reports for JoyNews.
Let's do business now. A senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School is urging commercial banks to increase lending to productive sectors of the economy as a way of strengthening their loan books and safeguarding profitability. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Benjamin Amwa said expanding credits to growth-enhancing sectors is critical to preventing a squeeze in banks' net interest margins while also supporting economic recovery.
Yeah, for banks, the first thing that will hit banks is a reduction in their net interest margin. That is a worry to banks, but they have to consider it. Again, banks will have to look at how best they can also create the loans, because you are intermediating and you cannot sit with the depositors' funds. You have to turn the money around. I'm saying that banks will have to look at the sectors within the economy that are performing and then consider extending more credit to these sectors. Areas that are difficult in terms of managing credit, the banks will have to shy away from and then keep the little that they can make from a low-yielding investment that we have in the economy.
Now, Ghana's economic growth could outperform official projections driven by tax reliefs that are gradually boosting consumer demand and supporting production across key sectors. According to an economic and fixed income analyst at Data Bank Research, Wilson Zilevu, recent fiscal measures are already stimulating market activity, setting the stage for stronger than expected growth beyond 2025. He's been speaking to Joy Business.
Must acknowledge the fact that the 4% set by the IMF was quite conservative in my view, and also the government also set a target of I think 4% by year and median growth of 4%, and that is also a conservative view. If you look at some of the policies that have been implemented, such as the removal of some taxes, it has stimulated consumption to some extent, although wages have not yet adjusted to the current price level. It has the easing of these taxes have allowed some level of demand on the market, or has improved purchasing power on the market. And I think that is what IC is trying to say, that would then mean that inventories would boost, and that would then mean that revenue margins would improve further in 2025. That should then mean that production should improve across sectors, especially the manufacturing sectors. So we should see growth cross the 4% level by the end of 2025 on the back of some of these policies that were implemented in the early part of the year.
And that's it for business. But before we wrap up, let's bring you what's happening on the commodities market. Well, that's it for business, and that's it for AM News. Don't forget that after AM News is AM Sports, and then we'll have our news review. We'll be joined by Senyo Amekplenu, his member NPP Communications team, Dr. Manasseh Minta, legal and environmental policy analyst, and Sharif Kantajeri, his member NDC Communications team. Join the ever beautiful MFA Kusiadeti as she hosts these three wonderful guests for our news review. But if you want more news, I know a place, myjoyonline.com. My name is Denise Yapomaide. Up next is sports. Enjoy the rest of the show and happy holiday.